Let's move into our starts and sits. We don't have a lot of time left, so rapid fire. But I will start with my quarterbacks. Matt Stafford against Oakland. This is a joint. It's a joint track. You changed.
I mean, it's partly joint, but I have another guy.
Okay, all right.
I was ready for this.
Matthew Stafford against Oakland. We talked about him a little bit earlier. He's a great play against Oakland. I think this is another week where he could probably get like 25 to 30. So he's a safe play if you need a streaming quarterback. And the question is, does Derek Carr continue to try to match that pace? If he does, then
Stafford has been very good the last few weeks.
And then sit Kyler Murray against San Francisco.
Yep.
I know you love Kyler. I know you want to start him. I love Kyler too. He's probably going to end up being a top 12 quarterback. But against San Francisco on Thursday Night Football, it's just a bad.
He might not because he has to play San Fran twice this year.
Yeah.
Still. For me, other than Matt Stafford, who I agree with, I have another guy, Gardner Minshew. I know, a little crazy, but other than the 1 week against the Saints, where unfortunately I believed in him, he scored 4 points. Mm-hmm. Other than that 1 week, he has gotten 19, 17, 19, 18, 23, 22, 26. Every single week, he's a start. This week against Houston, they ranked 27th against the pass. They just lost J.J. Watt for the season. It's at home. I like Gardner Minshew this week to get 20-plus points.
Wow. Sit?
It's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the number 7th ranked quarterback, and he's Tom Brady, so you're probably going to start him.
Yep.
But I don't like it at Baltimore in primetime. Historically, he's struggled against Baltimore.
Yeah.
And John Harbaugh. He's had a few games this season where he's been kind of like saved fantasy-wise with a late touchdown. But he's also struggled. He hasn't really struggled on the road, but he's been better at home than he has on the road.
Obvious.
So he's at Baltimore, Sunday Night Football. I don't love Tom Brady this week.
I'm going to start Austin Ekeler against Green Bay this week. It's an obvious situation where people are going to be like, oh, my God, I'm going to start Melvin Gordon. But Austin Ekeler, I think this week is going to be very good against Green Bay, so I would start him.
Okay.
David Montgomery, my man, is coming off the game of his NFL career, 100 and some odd yards and a touchdown, and I felt really good, but now he's going up against Philly. Sit him.
Oh.
One of the best rush defenses in the NFL. You got to sit David Montgomery.
Yeah. For me, my start of the week at running back is Tevin Coleman.
Okay.
He's playing the Cardinals on Thursday night, which the Cardinals have blown on defense this season. Mm-hmm. Tevin Coleman is coming off a week where he had 103 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he had 9.5 yards per carry. I expect them to use him a little bit more against Arizona this week. There's also a good chance. I haven't seen the latest reports, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think Matt Breida might not play tonight. And if that happens, then Coleman's a really good option. Yeah. And even if he does play, I think Coleman should be a good start. My sit is Mark Ingram. Again, back to the Patriots-Ravens game where I think it's going to be pretty low scoring. Yep. The Patriots' defense, I mean, there's not too much to say here. It's just been so dominant. Mm-hmm. Ingram last week didn't do well either. I think he had like 3 points. I'll look it up real quick. Yep. He had, in half PPR, he had 5 points, so that's not terrible. Yep. In Seattle. But I can see a similar game in half PPR where he only gets like 7 to 8 points this week. I'm
going to say start for my wide receiver, DJ Chark against Houston. Going to your point on Gardner Minshew, I think Chark is going to have his touchdown.
My boy, DJ Chark.
I think he's going to catch a touchdown this week and have a good week against Houston. And then sit Terry McLaurin against Buffalo. McLaurin has a new rookie quarterback potentially starting this week. And he hasn't had that connection with Dwayne Haskins that Case Keenum has had with McLaurin. So I'm going to say sit him against Buffalo, one of the toughest against the pass this year.
To go to your point with Matt Stafford, my start of the week at wide receiver is Kenny Golladay / Marvin Jones. You probably don't have both of them, so if you own one of these two guys, I think they're must starts. Yep. Again, as you said, I think Matt Stafford is going to have a big week this week, high scoring against Oakland, who ranked 27th against receivers in fantasy this season. Golladay is also coming off a big week. Yeah. I can see him doing it again this week. And my sit is DJ Moore. Look, he hasn't been great anyway this year. Mm-hmm. And I know you're like, man, I drafted DJ Moore expecting him to be a breakout. I want to play him this week. Mm-hmm. They're playing the Titans, who have shut down receivers this year with Malcolm Butler and Logan Ryan as their corners. They have a very underrated defense. Kyle Allen's been And DJ Moore's had an okay season, but I don't see him having a big week this week.
And finally, my start at tight end is the Walrus, Darren Waller versus Detroit.
Walrus.
And then sit tight end Mark Andrews versus New England. That is what I don't think it's a hot take, but
No.
Mark Andrews started off the season very hot, and he has come down to earth. And against New England, they're probably not going to give up too much to the tight end position. So I'm going to say sit Mark Andrews against New England, even though you probably want to start him.
Yeah, my for me, my sit of the week at tight end is Eric Ebron against Pittsburgh. He's just too touchdown dependent. I know it's your boy. And my start of the week at tight end is Hunter Henry against the Packers, who ranked 26th against tight ends.
Yeah.
And Hunter Henry missed a lot of time, so people are like, oh, he hasn't. Like, he's only the 11th ranked tight end, but he missed 5 games or 4 games. And in the games he's played this year in half PPR, he has 8, 26, 12, and 7.
Wow.
So he's been pretty consistent, and in a good matchup, I could see him getting double-digit points.
There you have it. Week 9 starts and sits.